Welcome back to the channel, friends and family. It's your friendly neighborhood YouTuber, and today I want to talk about something that I've been watching here on and off. English dub hasn't been the best release, but they've released them in batches, and it was enough for me to watch the first 12 episodes and come on here and get ready to talk about it. It is, in fact, the digital monsters themselves. I'm going to be talking about Digimon BeatBreak. The first 12 episodes, or technically, I guess, the first core. Hold the phone! It's your boy. I just wanted to let you know real quick before you continue the video that this video is sponsored by me. I just wanted to let you guys know that your boy right here has a website. Here it is in all of its glory, RevxTV.com. That's RevxArt.com. You can support me by getting an art print right here if you do so incline. I have 4 different options for you. If you want a sketch, if you want line art, black and white, fully colored, totally up to you. And you can also get some exclusive merchandise. Check out that sick hat. Check out that incredible shirt. And check out that amazing hoodie. And if you're a member of the website, not only can you get these products, but you get a 10% discount. That's right, 10% off of anything from the website from just being a member. And if you don't want to do any of this stuff, but you want to support your boy, donations/tips are welcome. So just friendly reminder that I do have a website and you can go to it now if you go to RevxArt.com. So Digimon BeatBreak is a show, well, it's about Digimon, but it's a little bit different than what we're familiar with. Digimon, as you know, come in different shapes and sizes, and just as they come in different shapes and sizes, so do the Digivices. So we started out with the Digivice that was like more of well, actually, I think I got an example here to give you with the Digimon Adventure and Adventure 02 that kind of look like this. This was like a Digivice that we kind of had with the original OG Digimon, and then you got Tamers that came out after 02 that had like a little bit of a similar feel, but they could slide a card through it, type vibe like on the side, and then they could enhance their Digimon. And then from that we moved on to Digimon Frontiers, where they had much more of a phone almost looking like device. And then from that, you know, the devices have evolved until what they are now, to the point where eventually now for Digimon BeatBreak we got an egg. Now whether or not you're a fan of the design of the new Digivice, that's neither here nor there. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of it. I do like what they do with it in the show, but that's just to show the progression of this Digimon series throughout the years and how they constantly are changing the stories and constantly evolving and trying to, well, basically cater to a new audience and trying to create something new and create a different trend for, you know, their own IP in Digimon. And Digimon BeatBreak, when it got announced, I'm not going to lie, originally I was a little bit tentative about it. I was excited because we got a new Digimon series. I was hoping that it wasn't going to be like Ghost Game. Not to say that Ghost Game was bad. I actually am enjoying Ghost Game for what it is. I'm not done with it. I will review it when I'm done. But in the sense of the release here on the West, Digimon Ghost Game felt like it was completely like held in purgatory. Like I felt like I couldn't watch it. Every time that I tried to watch the Japanese dub, I would have to watch it elsewhere, and it just became so much of a thing until they finally put it on Hulu, XYZ, and now I get to watch it, just the Japanese. There is apparently an English dub of it that exists, but I guess we don't have it. Luckily with Digimon BeatBreak, coming back to this, there is an English dub for it. It's actually pretty good, and they are releasing them in batches on Crunchyroll. I'm sure, I don't know 100% if it's on Hulu. Hulu watchers, let me know. But I just figured I'd just start watching the Japanese. I mean, luckily they posted it here. And I was like, screw it, you know, I'll deal with some subtitles. I'm not the biggest fan. I do prefer to just kind of like listen to an English dub and not have to worry about reading the subs. I'm just that kind of a simple person. I don't have that many brain cells. Don't judge me too hard, okay? So I was, you know, excited to see that they randomly dropped an English dub for it in a batch. It was like 5 episodes, and I had thought, you know, when I saw it, I was like, whoa, that's cool. So I stopped watching the Japanese and started continuing watching the English, and now that's just what I'm watching. And like I said, it's genuinely a good dub for the show. Digimon BeatBreak is a show that's not necessarily like Shakespearean in its sort of nature, and neither was Ghost Game. They're just, they're obviously intended for children. So me coming in the review, I'm not gonna view this as like some sort of like crazy artistic new nuanced thing that this show. It's a show for kids. This is a show for kids. I'm just watching it for the love of the game, for the love of Digimon, okay? And luckily though, it's kept me watching it. Most of the times, like with Pokemon, for example, I hate to bring Pokemon to this because there's always examples, but with Pokemon, when I tried to watch the newer anime, I was like, not really. I wasn't vibing with it. It was clearly for kids, but it was also clearly not for me. And it felt like it didn't really, it wasn't that, it was clearly for kids. I respected it, but it just wasn't for me. I didn't enjoy it in the same sense. I was like, okay, let me just go rip packs. Let me play the Pokemon games and let me just enjoy Pokemon the way that I enjoy it. But with Digimon, I feel like I can revisit a lot of their shows, and I feel like they're still timely. And I feel like they're kid shows, yes, but they also do feel very inviting for like newer audiences and newer fans of all different age demographics. And I think that's honestly really cool. And there's no difference here with BeatBreak. BeatBreak does feel that way as well. So if you're a Digimon newcomer, welcome to the Digimon fandom. And if you're a Digimon fan that has been here, I think Digimon BeatBreak is worth your shot. I think it's definitely a good series when it comes down to being like classic in terms of its relationship that you have with the tamer and the Digimon. It's a very different vibe. It's very, like I said, their Digivices are these Sapotamas, which are basically just eggs. These eggs to take energy from the tamers in order to boost the Digimon and eventually make them digivolve and do all cooler things. And the main Digimon in this series, okay, I'm going to have to say it. I have to be honest. I was not a big fan of it at first. I saw the design and I just felt like there was too much going on. I was like, there's too many like colors. It looks like it's like trying to be like too much. So when I saw Gekkomon originally, I was turned off a little bit. And then I saw Homeboy was wearing the Crocs too. I was like, maybe this is not for me. But I gave it a shot because I felt like the animation looked a little not bad. For the most part, the animation is not bad in this series. There are moments where I feel like the animation is just like okay, it's passable, but I feel like they could do a better job in certain scenes. But that's neither here nor there. It's still not like One Punch Man type vibes where I feel like I need to shut it off and be like, all right, my bro, like I can't watch this. Like it's still like it's serviceable animation. I can still watch the series and I can still enjoy it for what it is. Now going back to Gekkomon, I wasn't so sure about that little critter, about that little Digimon at first. By the end of this first core, by these 12 episodes, I am a Gekkomon diehard. I will do anything to protect this little Digimon. If I was this Digimon's tamer, I would risk my life for Gekkomon. That's how much I love this little dude. First of all, also shout out to the English cast, or specifically the English voice actor or actress for Gekkomon. Sounds exactly like the Japanese. It's actually insane. Like I was watching the Japanese, and then there was like a moment where I was watching the English. There was a moment where I was listening to Gekkomon, and the way he was talking, I can't even do it. The way he was talking, I was like, hold up, this sounds exactly like I felt like I was watching the Japanese one. Not in a bad way, but in the sense of like, holy crap, they sound very similar. And the only, I think, downside when it comes to that is, or not sounding similar, but just the voice acting, is when Gekkomon eventually does digivolve, the voice is a little jarring. I feel like, I guess I'm kind of used to, sometimes they switch up the voice actors for Digimon in evolutions. I feel like this is the case where they could have. It was a little bit jarring, but I mean, it wasn't bad regardless. It was just a little of a nitpick. But for the most part, I genuinely enjoy this show. The first 12 episodes that I've seen, for the most part, were enjoyable. The first episode hooked me because, it's not just like, hey, there's Digimon, that's it, go. It's like the Digimon exist. They're also not seen as like a good thing in society. Which we have seen as a case in other Digimon series, but for this one in particular, it's interesting because a lot of the Digimon are causing this cold heart virus that they call it, where they basically take out all of the energy from an individual, and that's what ends up happening to Tomoru's, the main character's brother. At the first episode, homeboy is taken out like a Disney parent. It's actually wild, and it hooked me. It did, and seeing Gekkomon show up and be that sort of little monster that's not leaving Tomoru's side and is not neglecting Tomoru's side and is 100% like, just like, we got to do this. Tomoru, give me your let me take a bite. I like your energy. He at first was a little annoying, but also kind of charming and kind of cute. But by the end of it, their relationship grows with that bond that we see in a lot of Digimon shows, where like Agumon and Tai, their bond grows, and eventually that's what leads them to be great partners, and eventually, War Greymon becomes such a pivotal character because of it. And then that goes for all the all the Digimon tamers, and for this they definitely went back to that, and I just love that moment later on where Gekkomon and Tomoru Tomoru has a coming to self moment when he looks at Gekkomon, and you could see the character arc that he went after dealing with what he dealt with and seeing his brother basically die, to now having this Digimon partner and learning to have to accept this Digimon partner. It was satisfying, okay? Because there's a lot of, I'm not gonna lie, there are a lot of episodes post the first episode where I felt like I could look at my phone and watch the episode, and look at my phone and watch the episode. So I'm like, okay, this is definitely a kid show, because it's like, it's very episodic in that sense, and sometimes the first bit of the show definitely feels like it drags a little bit. I know that they're trying to establish all the characters, and that's kind of one of my things, though, is the characters feel very, these tamers feel, some people are going to like these new tamers and some people are not. I do like the leader of the Glowing Dawn team, which is basically the new generation of tamers, or protagonists, I guess. I do like the leader, and his Digimon is sick. I forgot his name, but his Digimon is dope, and his secret backstory that comes up later towards the end of the first core, I like that. They got me, but like there was a little bit of they hook, line, and sinkered me at the beginning. Then it felt like into a little lull phase because it felt very like episodic. And then, we got into more of the Digimon and the Tamers, their relationship, evolving these specific other Digimons, and then, ending it with Gekkomon and Gekkomon's and Tomoru's relationship, and how a Gekkomon can evolve with it, with Tomoru basically maturing, which is hugely satisfying. That's what really hooked me for the show, is because I'm like, okay, Tomoru right now feels like a little bit of an annoying main character, but I don't hate the fact that he is, because I know that he's going to go through a character arc, because if I know anything about Digimon, I know that these little digital monsters have a bond with their tamer, and that is what makes them mature and grow. I knew that was going to come, and it definitely did not disappoint in that sense. Now, towards the end of this core, we do get introduced to these other new tamers, which are going to lead into the second core, and this is where I'm hook, line, and sinker back in, and I am excited to see what these new tamers are going to. We see a little bit of glimpse of them. They get shown, and then that's kind of the end of the core. Obviously, episode 13 is going to lead into that, and then as well as those Digimon tamers, we also see the 5-star, and it's actually, that's when now you are like rewarded for sticking around, because the world is opening up, the lore is opening up for this specific Digimon show, and it's actually gearing up for what looks like to be an interesting subplot with the 5-star, the leader of Breaking Dawn, and how Tomoru's gonna deal with all of these new characters jumping in and understanding the inner mechanisms of his society, and what he's living through and in, basically, and how Digimon are a part of that. So it's going to be interesting to see. Like I said, I wasn't 100% on the show at first. Gekkomon, I wasn't, and then I got sold. Tomoru, I was excited. They gave him the Disney character treatment, because I was like, okay, he's about to have a character arc, and it's about to be satisfying, and it was. The Glowing Dawn are okay to me. Like I said, the leader's cool, but the other characters are kind of just like okay to me. Their Digimon are cool. The only one, though, is the wolf. Dude, I don't know what it is about that Digimon, but it's just not doing anything for me. Hopefully, maybe it digivolves into something cooler. Because right now, it's just like has the boring gun hands, and it just looks. I don't know. It's just not doing anything for me. And then I was a little bit disappointed with Homeboy's Bat Digimon that digivolved. Like I do like the vibe. It gives Batman Beyond vibes a little bit, but I feel like they could have made him look a little more. I don't know how to say it. Like I like just just slightly different. I don't know. I thought he looked cool for the most part, but sometimes in some shots it was just kind of like, okay, this is just like a generic Digimon. But they didn't drop the ball when it came to Gekkomon. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. When it came to, well, actually, I'm sure everyone has seen the Digivolutions of all of these because Bandai has definitely decided not to hold back and just spoiled it with the card game. But Gekkomon's first evolution, dude, so sick. Armadillomon, I think that's what it's called. Dude, so sick. And then the new one that I got spoiled with that is in Core 2 that I will get to. So, like, they are not missing when it comes to Gekkomon and his evolution line. So, I'm excited to see the rest of it. I'm excited to see what the final if they're going to do something similar to, like, Gallantmon. I don't know. A lot of people do compare this series Digimon BeatBreak to Digimon Tamers, and I can kind of see it. It has a little bit more of like a serious undertone. Characters are not as cartoony. Definitely feels a little bit more adult, just a little bit. Obviously, at the end of the day, these are kid shows, but like the one thing that I did love about Tamers was that undertone and the fact that it had something else going on for it. It had real style, and I'm at first, like I said, I wasn't rocking with the style of this show because what we doing with the Crocs? Like, come on, like this ain't like let's give my homeboy some J's or something. But I'm in. I like Digimon BeatBreak overall, and I'm excited for the second core. I think this is where I may fall in love with the series, or I may just continue liking it just in general. I'm not fully in love with the series. I do like it. And I do think it's on the better end of Digimon shows, and I would put it in that sense. And I'm glad to say that I have yet to see a Digimon show that feels like it's a miss. Like Digimon Ghost Game, from what I've seen, again, really enjoyed it. Digimon BeatBreak, this first core, enjoyed it. Excited to see these new developments coming into the second core. So, Digimon fans, we stay winning. But anyways, you guys let me know your thoughts on Digimon BeatBreak. Did you watch it? Have you seen it? What are your thoughts on the first core, the first 12 episodes? What are your thoughts on Gekkomon? Everything that I said and stated in this video. Let me know, Digimon fans, if you're new to the channel. I have other Digimon videos. I'll link a couple too at the end of this one. So you best subscribe to your boy. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. I'm currently in a 90-day period where I'm posting for 90 days non-stop. So if you don't want to miss content, you want to keep getting fresh content every single day, subscribe to your boy, because tomorrow I got another video for y'all. Speaking of, I'll see you there.